3 hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
All right, it is the after show where we gather together to, well, talk about the stuff that's leftovers. You know, leftovers are always better anyway. So we got Jim and Tom. Hey, guys.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Yeah, don't you always like leftovers?
Oh, meatloaf.
Always.
Best. I don't know. Soups, pastas, stews. I think they all get better on the leftovers.
Yeah, not so much for steak or lobster, but
Fish, not so much. No. Yeah. Some things, no. It's kind of like, you know, I'm not sure if the after show is a good leftover or a fish leftover.
oh, God.
But at any rate.
But you know who might know that? Bruce may know.
Bruce may know because he sounds like a snake hunter par excellence. Hey, Bruce, how you doing, man?
Yeah. Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I am intrigued. I see on this computer screen it says snake loads or for hunting snakes, you use a blowgun. All right, you got to fill me in. What are you talking about here?
Well, you know, I am a Second Amendment kind of guy. I do carry my Taurus TCP religiously everywhere I go.
Attaboy.
You know, it never comes off unless I'm in the shower. Mm-hmm. And but, you know, we do a lot of bow fishing. You know, we're avid hunters, and so I saw an advertisement for a Cold Steel makes a 5-foot blowgun, and they have 3/8 broadheads that go on there, and you know it's just an awesome piece of equipment, and you know it'll kill a snake. It depends on how good you are. I mean I've shot the boat's always moving, and so 5 to 10 yards you can hit one in the head pretty regularly. So this is a powered by your lungs blowgun. Yes, Cold Steel makes a 625 bore blowgun. It's a monster.
Holy cow!
Yeah, you can get like 120, 125 feet per second out of a dart.
I used to, when I was a kid, we would make blowguns, and we would go buy electrical conduit. Mm-hmm. And
half-inch.
And then we would cut it. I want to say it was 4, may have been 5 feet. And then we would make our own darts. And to do that, we would take a wire clothes hangers and take the long part, and you cut a 6-inch chunk out of it, sharpen one end, and then take from your mom's makeup area, you take cotton balls, you take one and wrap it around the end and then tie it up with sewing thread. So you've got this big puff ball on the end and a sharp point on the other, and you can push it in, and it seals really well. And I am here to tell you, Bruce is right. That is an awesome bird, rat, turtle, snake killer par excellence.
Everything. You can kill anything with a blowgun with enough oomph behind it.
Yeah.
And we killed 2 snakes, back to back, probably within 3 minutes of each other. And, I also rigged it up for gar fishing. So the first snake I killed was attached to the blowgun by a fishing string. And my buddy in the boat, he says, that's a snake, right? I said, yeah. He said, the snake's not coming in the boat, right?
Okay. All right, go ahead. I got a story to tell you.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
All right. So same deal. I'm a teenager, and we're out. Same deal. We decided we're going to go out at night. I grew up on a lake. And we had boats in the backyard always, had John boats. And so my buddy and I would get in the John boat. We'd been doing a lot of bow fishing and shooting gar and everything. So we threw the bow in with the bow fishing rig. And we get out there and we're tooting along at night. We're looking for anything. I mean, come on, you're 14 years old, right? So, we're getting frogs and we're looking for snakes. And it's dark. We've got our spotlight. And then there's a nutria. Well, Nutria's about a 25-pound rat. And I said, well, I'm going to shoot that thing with my bow, right? So I did. The only problem was I caught him just under the skin on the back. And as, and Bruce, you're already anticipating because you know what happened. I'm using a bow fishing rig. Mm-hmm. So now on the end of my string, I have a really PO'd 25-pound rat. And I don't have a pocket knife. But what I do have, we had the forethought to bring with us, was one of those souvenir, 1-foot-long giveaway Louisville Slugger baseball bats.
Oh, my God.
So we bring him into the side of the boat, and we commenced to whaling on this thing. And in the middle of the night, and this lake is like we're right next to behind people's houses, and we are just going to town, and it's basically me and the Nutria, and we're not sure who's going to win this deal for a while. Because when you put him in, it's kind of like, okay, well, I don't want to give up my arrow because we didn't have enough money to, like give away. And those are those heavy fiberglass, all fiberglass, solid arrows. Mm-hmm. It was one of those life lessons about shooting something with an arrow with a string on it that you don't actually want to retrieve and pull back to you.
Exactly.
But always be prepared. You never know when you're going to need that little Louisville Slugger souvenir bat.
Sure.
So that we would also
380 to finish it off.
Or 380. That's true. I didn't have that at the time. Those boats would leak. We would run them, and then they would start when the water got up to about kind of high on your ankles. Inside the little John boat, this little aluminum boat. Then we would just run it up on shore and flip it over and then flip it back down and throw it back in. And we could probably get another 10, 15 minutes before the water's filling up in the boat again.
That's safe.
It was only 100 yards across from one shore to the other. This is a weird lake. It is 100 yards across and 35 miles long.
Wow.
It was a dammed up river. Oh. And they just, basically it stopped flowing. It was the old Red River that changed its course. They dammed up both ends of it. It just became a river that doesn't flow, basically, just a lake. Huh. So, we could never get too lost. There have been times when we kind of shut off the engine and did something and said, now, which way was I going? It was either right or left. I don't know. But if you go for, a couple of minutes, you could figure out, okay, no, we're going the wrong way here. Well, Bruce, I appreciate the info. That's very cool. I mean, people think you're blowing smoke about your blowgun, but not at all.
He's blowing darts.
Yeah, you're blowing darts. There you go.
Yeah, Tim Wells. If they want to see it, they can get on YouTube and type in Tim Wells. He kills all kind of stuff with blowguns.
It's really a lot of fun. It really is. It is I would want to say primitive, but that's not quite it. You're just so well connected in it because it's like archery where you're using your muscles to pull the string back, and all of a sudden it's you're the power behind the whole thing.
Right.
Very good. Thank you for the call. I appreciate that.
Oh, and what timing on line 6? We have the attorney from Nutria Lives Matter wants to speak to you, Tom. I told him till after commercial, though.
Yeah, tell him I'll get right back to him, would you? All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk rats from Rats Are Us.
Think all ammo's the same? Think again. Aguila Ammunition uses the highest quality materials and is one of the world's largest rimfire manufacturers. Want silent 22 ammo, powderless Super Colibri, and Sniper Subsonic merely whisper. For light recoil and big performance, mini shells make any shotgun a pleasure to shoot. Match grade and the Hyperfast Super Maximum and Interceptor 22 loads get the maximum for your rifle or pistol. Visit aguilaammo.com/rimfire. Feed your firearm.
Stand for the Second Amendment with Franklin Armory. Their 3-position BFS Gen 3 trigger is one of the hottest products for your AR, HK, ACR, CZ, and B&T in curved and straight variations. In position 3, fire 1 round on pull and 1 round on release. Ideal for both tactical and competition use. Get a 10% discount on everything with the code word GUNTALK at franklinarmory.com.
All right, back with you. Yes, God, I hadn't told that Nutria story in a long time. Yeah, I don't know why we had that silly little bat in there, but it turned out to be a good idea.
See, I thought he was going to say when he caught the snake, he had it on a fishing line. He didn't have a pocket knife, so he took a cigarette or a cigar that he had and burned his way through it. Old school.
It would work. I have caught snakes on a fishing line before. It's one of those deals you're going, yeah, I'm going to have to cut this off, aren't I? Because not coming in the boat. He's right. You're not going to drag that snake in the boat here.
And so the next kid that catches, Daddy, what kind of snake is this with this plastic thing hanging off his face?
That's right. It's got oh, well. But, I mean, when I grew up, I think I told you, Jim, when I went to town, I went to get my hair cut at the barbershop or the movie theater. I went in a boat.
Mm-hmm, right.
And I was 7, 8, 9 years old. They would just let me take a boat and go into town, tie it up, leave it there, go take care of stuff, come back. It was an interesting, cool way to
It's a time when
up.
you could, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When you could just leave your boat tied up. And one time we came back and there was a cake sitting on the seat of the boat with a little note that says, "Please take this to your mother."
Cool.
Small town, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Where the UPS guy said, "Well, I've got something for the house, but I saw that you were over here having lunch, so here it is."
Aw.
And just, I saw your truck over here, kind of a deal.
That's cool. You said 7-year-olds. I got a couple 27-yearlords. I don't know if I'd let go into town alone. That's
Or on a
another
nutria
story.
hunt.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I don't know. I think it was interesting conversations about the snake gun. That was,
Didn't see it going there, but it did.
yeah. It's kind of like, well, okay. That makes
Well, you
some
see the
sense.
tie-in, snakes and Memorial Day. Yeah.
No.
Can't see that tie.
No, I don't see that. But,
Well, there's a snake on that flag and says, "Don't tread on me."
That's true.
oh, there you go.
There's your tie-in.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks,
Save
sir,
me.
Tom.
Save
Nice
my
job.
skin.
A lot of people want bear guns, but not a lot of parts of the country have, or not as many parts of the country have bears as they do snakes. Because I think everybody has snakes. I'm thinking Alaska doesn't have snakes. Does Hawaii have snakes?
I would think.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I know they have sea snakes.
Bruce was saying you can really use a blowgun just about anything. I'm thinking, brown bear, no.
Well, you can.
I don't have the full auto blowgun.
It's just, but you might want to wear your track shoes and be faster than your professional hunter.
Right.
It's that old deal. I don't have to be faster than the bear.
Faster than you.
There you go. Some of our best jokes,
Oh, yeah.
Like the bunch of guys sit around the campfire that just say 9, everybody breaks out laughing. It saves a lot of time.
Right.
We all got our same jokes.
Right, exactly.
And then the guy just says, "Well, I'll try that." It says 7. Nobody laughs. What's the matter? He says, "Well, some people just can't tell a joke."
Nice.
Okay, that's stupid.
Nice. That's
Just
okay.
told around a campfire.
Hey, guess what I did this week?
What it is.
Oh, wait, I already told you. I haven't gone...
Well, then I'm not listening to you anyway.
Okay,
so
great,
it's okay.
great.
What?
I haven't gone skeet shooting in a couple of years, actually. And I always sucked at it. I mean, just, moderate, 60, 65.
Now, are you
something.
talking skeet like the real skeet game?
No,
Or shorty
just
plays?
shooting clays. Just shooting
Okay,
clays.
okay.
I just call it skeet. So a buddy of mine had got a gun, and he wanted to try it out. I said, yeah, bring it over, sure. So I watched him shoot a couple. I said, yeah, I got to try it again. I'm tired of throwing them for you. I'll do it. I did great. And it's like a revelation. I probably
No. You didn't do great. Tell them how many you hit, because you did more than great.
I was hitting low 90s, 90%.
Oh,
I was hitting everything.
With his gun.
With his gun. Yeah, my gun I never touched.
It should now be your gun.
Right. Well, I should have bet him on, hey, if I can hit 990s. But, I mean, SX3, I guess they make an SX4 now. So I, researched them a little bit, and a lot of guys use these as exhibition guns because they're so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And you can put extended tubes on them, get 12, 15 rounds in them. Just cool. But the thing was, and you've said it for years, I'm like, yeah, well, I don't understand it because I don't physically do it, so I'm sure Gresham's right. I just don't relate to it. I saw the clay, if that makes any difference.
You were looking at the clay, but so what did you see of the gun?
Just something blocking my vision of the clay. It's kind of in the bottom of my sight picture. I guess if you'd call it a sight picture. It's not really a sight.
Staring hard down the barrel.
No, not at all. The barrel was just kind of a, hey, maybe you should go that way kind of suggestion. It wasn't really. It was in my. You don't call it a sight picture, right? Because you're not really.
No, well, people call it different things, but basically you're doing what's called instinctive style shooting, where you're not aiming, you're not looking down the barrel, you're just looking at the clay target and swinging, and don't even worry about where the gun's pointed. When it feels right, just go ahead and pull the trigger.
Right. That's a good description, I guess. And the ones I missed, I know why I missed, because I didn't follow through.
Well,
I knew it the second it happened.
And you know why you didn't follow through? I can tell you.
Because I'm a rookie?
No, because you were looking at the barrel.
Oh, probably on those times, yeah.
When you look at the barrel of the gun, you will try to get a perfect sight picture. Mm-hmm. And what happens is when it looks just perfect, you want to lock it in by stopping. You stop as you press the trigger, and we know what's going to happen.
Bye-bye birdie. Yeah.
Exactly. When you missed, if you felt like you weren't following through, you didn't keep your swing going, it's almost guaranteed that your eye focus went back to the front bead or to the barrel in some form or fashion, and you lost your hard focus. And that's a term I really like, a hard focus on the clay bird.
Okay, I'll buy that, because that's pretty much what it felt like. I knew what had happened. I mean, before I even knew I missed.
Okay, there's one other aspect of this that's very interesting, and that is, for whatever reason, that shotgun fit you. You didn't have to have it fitted or anything. When you just looked at the clay target and pressed the trigger, the gun was lined up perfectly. Which means, a lot of people spend a ton of money getting a gun fitted to them. And I'm not kidding about this, you probably should try to find one of those shotguns.
Okay. Just one? What's wrong with you, Tom?
Yeah, I know.
One? Whatever the plan B. Yeah.
But, it'll change, and I'm sure it already did, how much you enjoy wing shooting.
It was great. I want to do it again. Now, the thing I really noticed, too, as an afterthought, and I didn't realize it while I was doing it because I was just so stoked that I was hitting everything. It's semi-auto, so the recoil is way less.
Oh, yeah.
Than my pump.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And I knew, if I would have sat down and figured out, I'd say, there'll probably be less kick. Didn't think about it, just wanted to go shoot some stuff.
Well, it's a gas-operated gun, and so the gas-operated guns reduce the recoil more. It's a weird kind of sleight of hand deal. The actual real recoil is exactly the same, but it spreads the recoil out over a longer period of time.
Right. Understand.
And so it doesn't feel like a jab. It's just a little push. You hardly even notice it.
Yeah, I can see a curve.
And if you're concentrating on the shooting, you're not thinking about it anyway.
Right. But, just in the past, the stuff I've done, it hasn't been, ungodly terrible, but you shot it.
Right.
And I don't know, we probably shot off, 3 boxes of ammo that day. We just had a blast. Pun intended.
That is so cool. I'm so glad you did that.
So now I have to go to, a real skeet range and do it for real track.
Well, and you have to. Now, here's what we usually do, because I know this from experience. You had that great experience. You just had that out-of-body thing going on, right? You go, I can't miss. I'm good to go. And then you get up there next time and say, man, if I wasn't even trying and I hit that many, think what I could do if I really concentrate on it.
Yeah.
And you'll be shooting the 40s.
Yeah.
And you're going, what's wrong? Well, stop trying.
Put the beer down.
Yeah, well, or maybe have 2 more.
Just kidding, safety, folks. Just kidding. I have to explain everything nowadays to people.
I know. But what you got to do is loosen up. I mean,
I can see that. Yeah.
Tom, my dad used to do a thing. And he was really a good wing shot. I mean, really, really good. And when he would hold the shotgun, before he would call for the bird, if we'd call pull, he would do a deal. He would actually, he was a right-handed shooter, so with his left hand's out on the forearm, he would actually strum his fingers on the forearm, and basically just as a way of lightening the grip. So you're not gripping it hard.
Oh, floats.
Kind of floats in the hand, because if you grab it tight, and in fact, if you make a fist, hold your hand out like you're holding a shotgun, make a fist with that hand, you can see the tendons and everything in your arm tightening up.
Sure.
And it's pretty hard to be fluid and smooth that way.
That makes total sense.
So you just kind of swing, it's like in your head. You don't want to do this out loud because you won't be invited back, okay? but in your head, think of a waltz, like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, swing 2, 3. But I have found that if you say that out loud, it's hard to find people who want to shoot with you after that.
Right, but I think you're like a polka freak too if you're just doing that.
Polka's
a little faster waltz.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, polka's very close to being music, isn't it? It's a close relative to music.
Yes, that's funny.
Hey, another quick break here?
Sure.
All right, we'll take a break, and then we will be back with more polka talk.
Whether you are a first-timer or seasoned shooter, Double Star has the guns, edged weapons, and parts you desire. Our products are made in America and held to the highest quality standards. No exceptions. Double Star and Ace Limited manufactures products people bet their lives on without hesitation. That awesome responsibility motivates the Double Star family, and it will proudly protect yours. When you're ready for the best, join our family at star15.com. That's star15.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Battle Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
All right, we are oompahing our way through the after show here. Tom, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How long has it been now since you started doing Gun Talk, working on the Gun Talk show?
Oh, wow.
4 years?
Well, round 2, actually.
Oh, yeah, around just about 2, I think.
2 for this round, but you did 4 or 5 years up front.
Oh, yeah, way back when.
Way back.
When, yeah.
But you were not a gun guy before, were you?
No, not really. I mean,
you were a guy, though. You were a guy.
I was that guy who did not object, but I just said they weren't for me.
Okay.
I was like, you should be able to have whatever you want to have, just not my thing. And then Jim took me to the range one day.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. What happened?
And I thought that was fun. I would do it again, maybe. I wasn't ready to run out and buy a gun. But it wasn't until a friend of mine convinced me to come to deer camp and just kind of hang out and play cards and go sit in the woods with a gun in your lap and see what happens.
Right. So what happened?
I loved it, and I went and bought a gun after that. I didn't see any deer that time, but I just enjoyed the camp, the camaraderie, and and just sitting in the woods and be still long enough and watch. He says it takes about 20 minutes for the woods to forget you're there.
Yes.
And start behaving normally around you.
That's a great way to put it. You have to, and after that, you become invisible.
Besides the video poker he's playing on his phone.
That's right.
Put the damn phone away.
And the Bluetooth boombox he set out there, yes.
Yeah, you see all kinds of things when you learn to sit still long enough.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you sit still for a while, the woods come back to life. And the birds are, I've had squirrels, come down the tree that I'm leaning against, like you're 6 inches above your head.
Oh, yeah, I've had rabbits walk right up to me, a chickadee perch right on the end of the barrel.
I did have a skunk walk through, I'm guessing 3 feet away from me, just walk right past me. Going, okay, now I'm going to be really still.
Right.
Or really stinky.
Yeah, that's right. Just don't move. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I have had a snake come by me one time. Same deal. Just don't move. He's on his way to someplace, so let him go. It's not my thing, man. I'm not my day to bother him.
I got to tell you my best hunting story ever. I'm sitting in a hollowed out stump of a tree, maybe 3 foot tall, but it had been eaten away and decomposed. So I used it to lean back into. I thought, this will be great. It gives me cover from behind. Everything's good. So I'm looking where the deer walk. See a couple doe and just waiting. And then I hear some footsteps behind me. I said, it must be another hunter coming up or something. But you could actually feel the ground move. It's a pretty heavy hunter. It's a big boy, whoever he is. He's going to see me. I'm wearing orange. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet. And then I hear on the back of my neck, I still don't know what it was. I just said, don't claw me to death. I wasn't about to turn around and get it in the face. It wasn't hurting me.
You never found out?
No, I was too afraid. Because literally the only thing that was shown was the top of my hat from the backside. And whatever it was, deer, bear, whatever, it just wanted to find out what it was. Sure.
Could have been a cow.
Yeah, I didn't. It just scared me.
Oh, my gosh.
What the hell was that?
We were hunting crows one time and put out our crow call, and then we're calling, and we were right next to this field where there were cows. And I don't know what they thought was going on, but they all just started walking over to us. And before long, we've got this semicircle of cows around us. Okay.
Hey, boys, did you bring the playing cards?
I don't know. It was just one of those surrealistic moments. You're going, wow, that was odd.
That's cool.
Just weird stuff. Lordy.
God, you realize you could tell hunting and fishing and camping stories like 6 hours straight.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, and honestly, when you think about it, that's part of the fun of going to a hunting camp is the stories and, the back and forth and all of that.
And how the stories change over the years.
There's some you just don't tell.
Well, that's right. What happens in camp stays in camp. Yeah. Exactly. It's one of those deals. Or, who gets to be cook? I like the old story about, the deal was, if you complained about the food, then you had to be the cook.
There you go.
And so this one guy was a cook. He'd been cook for several days, and he got tired of it, so he took a whole bunch of salt and put it in. And so
we don't want you to cook anymore.
One of the guys took a bite, and he goes, "Wow, Lord, that's salty!" And he goes, "But good."
Nice back pedal.
He didn't want to cook.
That's hilarious.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I don't know why. I'm thinking about getting another rifle.
Oh, well, because you're a little rifle deficient at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, that's it. I don't know. I just kind of thinking maybe I'd get me something, a super lightweight bolt action hunting rifle in the 5.5 pound range, and thinking, well, what caliber? I mean, I love my 7mm08. I think it's a great caliber.
6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, I know. That's where I'm going. That's where I end up every time. I got to keep following right. I cannot resist the peer pressure. I got to be one of the in crowd.
Oh, sure.
And it's like, I know. It's no different from my 708 or my 308 or my 257 Roberts or whatever, but it's the new cool kid on the block, and I think I got to have one.
You're a leader in the gun community, Tom. You need one.
I'm a leader because I follow people. What? How does that work?
I didn't even realize you're a politician, but okay.
Yeah. It's like they say, I must go now, for I am their leader, and there they go.
Nice. Are you having a barbecue tomorrow?
I don't know. It all kind of all depends on what happens with Senor Alberto. We have a tropical storm down here.
Yeah, that's coming their way. That's right.
Yeah, it's a little early. I think he's an overachiever, but I think from where we are, it's going to move to the east of us enough to where we're not going to get hammered.
Good.
So I think we're going to be okay. So we'll probably do maybe a little pool time and
little nutria on the Barbie.
Little snake. I'll go in the backyard and blowgun a snake. And hey, if you shoot a snake with your blowgun, can you then cook it as shish kebab with the dart?
Just keep the dart in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Pull the cotton off though first.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I'm going to head out to Idaho. We're going to be doing the show from out there. I'm going to go visit, the folks around Utah, visit Liberty Safe and Barnes Bullets, and then run up to Montana and see the folks from Kimber. So we're going to be doing kind of a big Western thing out there and seeing some of the gun companies out there. That's going to be fun.
I was going to say, there's a lot of gun companies the past year going to Idaho.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, it's almost like the new Vermont. Kind of.
It really is. It used to be Gun Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we talked about, Colt and Smith and Marlin and all the companies that were in that area that was known as Gun Valley because, of course, that's where the gun company started 150 years ago.
Right.
But now they're scattered everywhere. And, around Idaho, Montana, Utah, there are a lot of companies involved in the gun business, ammo companies and all of that. So it's kind of fun, and also it's just a part of the country I like to be in.
Well, it's beautiful, but not just the startups. I'm talking about established companies that are moving there,
yes,
and doing their thing because it's just so conducive.
Weatherby moving out to Sheridan, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I've been to Sheridan. I've actually hunted around there in the Bighorn Mountains. I was bow hunting actually. Shot a nice.
Get any bows?
Yeah, I got one. Got me a bow. Shot a nice mule deer buck that was trotting at a pretty good pace down a trail one of those deals that I had been practicing so much. And it's interesting. You can get to the point where there was simply no doubt in my mind that I could make the shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, well, yeah, I got that. Because I've been practicing probably for an hour every day for 4 to 6 months.
Wow.
And it's just like, yeah, I got this. You know, that was fun.
Got to have good lung power to take a shot that far.
That's right. And that was, I'm trying to remember if that was a recurve or a compound. Because that was kind of at that crossover point when everybody was switching over to the new, that had to be compound by that point. Yeah.
And now they got the ellipticals and all that stuff. And
yeah, but I try not to do exercise like that, so it's a whole different deal.
You can't run on your elliptical bowl. Come on.
That's right. I'm confused. All right. Well, gents, I am going to be, we'll be talking to you next week from out west as we travel around the countryside and having some fun out there. I'll be, it will not surprise you to know, I will take a firearm or two.
Wow.
Yeah. Really? Shocking.
Turning over a new leaf.
So, there it is. As long as it's one of those bulletproof leaves, it's good to go.
Kevlar. Scientifical, you know.
It's scientifical. Exactly right. You guys have a good week.
You too, buddy.
Bye.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gun Dealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.